What's good, guys? We are doing a Naruto reaction today, and we're going to be reacting to a Naruto YouTuber, or maybe all around YouTube, I don't know, but we'll pull up his YouTube channel. But he's called Lightning Snow. He has about 6,000 subs. He's doing his thing, so shout out to this guy. Pretty cool dude that we're going to be checking out today. And, we'll, give him all love and support. This is who he is. He does versus battles, what ifs, and more, apparently. And I think, yeah, so he does strictly do Naruto. Yeah, he's clearly a Naruto dude. So that's definitely definitely a thing. His thumbnails are pretty fire though. Does a great job with the thumbnails and things like that. So yeah, this is pretty cool stuff. Yeah, but yeah, he clearly does a lot of Naruto vids. So W, right? Oh fuck no. but yeah, so this is pretty cool. So yeah, definitely check him out. Give him all love and support. He actually has a lot of videos. I was trying to see like where it is. Okay, not that many. So he has a good amount, but not that many. But yeah, but no, give him all the love, guys. Give him all the, check him out, whatever. And if you fuck with him, great. If you don't, cool. But again, if you're a Naruto fan at the end of the day, you're gonna be wanting to watch his stuff anyways, right? Like, let's be real, right? So that's why we're here anyways. So yeah, give him all love and support. You guys check him out. And then we can go from there. And at the end of the video, I'll make sure to put them on my list of Naruto content YouTubers to react to. This way I don't forget about them either. But yeah, we're going to get into this and let's do it.
Boy Snow back today with another
by
video.
the way, this is why Kakashi is the best character. W title, absolutely fucking agree. Let's check out the vid.
I hope you all are doing pretty well. Sorry for the slight schedule change because I was supposed to do the Datara versus KAKASHI fight for the Akatsuki Battle Royale series, but I had some slight scheduling / editing issues, so I had this other video ready to go after that video, so hope you all enjoy it. Today we're obviously talking about analyzing / dissecting Kakashi Hatake. I'm actually kind of surprised that I haven't gotten this video yet, but if you're new to the channel, be sure you like, subscribe, and click the bell for more notifications. And yeah, so with all that out of the way, let's just get right on into it.
Let's do it.
I have my boy Making Pain to do this video with me. He's also a Kakashi fan, so I'm glad to have him here doing this video. So let's just get right on into talking about the Copy Ninja.
And
you can go on yourself.
I like Kakashi. I think she's cool. When I first watched Naruto, I was a kid. Maybe it was middle school. I remember. I was young. And that's when it first started getting popular. Like everyone was watching on Toonami. Like Naruto was the jam. Like,
yeah.
Everyone was going.
Yeah.
Like there was no Japanese.
I need to make sure I always made sure I watched it every weekend.
Like we called it Naruto. We had no idea. Like
yeah.
we were base roots Naruto.
Yeah.
So Kakashi obviously the coolest character. And,
yeah.
And
With Geico, we can easily bundle home and car
Thank you.
insurance and save even more.
Thank you.
Try that breakfast burrito.
There isn't too much hot sauce, is there? I have a sense.
I could go on and on about how much I really enjoy Kakashi's development. My favorite moment with him by far is probably him with his dad.
I don't know whenever he died.
When he died,
yeah.
I love that moment.
It's a lot of people forget about that moment. Honestly,
So
it's such a pivotal moment.
It's definitely a good moment.
Yeah, it's built up too. Like like his dad is built up.
Oh yeah.
Before then,
because there's blood in the water.
Yeah.
With them.
So like I like how it's built up in a way like you kind of forget about it for a second because whenever
it's a small moment.
Like remember when in the beginning of Shippuden, whenever Granny Chiyo attacked Kakashi, thinking that it was his dad,
thinking he was the white,
and then Naruto asked later, who is she talking about? He's like, well, I just had to put this. He's my father. Yeah. And they're like, okay, something's gonna come back around because he just leaves it off there.
Yeah, that's definitely.
So it's like, okay, you're gonna come back around to that. So
but I'll let you talk more on. I think you'll do a better job.
Kakashi is the main character. I don't care what anybody else says. Kakashi is the main character of the story. I don't, because that man was introduced from day one, and ever since then he is.
Wait, so Kakashi's your number one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
That's crazy.
Not a lot of people know that.
That's
so,
weird.
Yeah.
I guess you sleep on that. I thought, but I guess not.
Man, Kakashi's just so underrated.
Underrated. You're wearing a Kakashi shirt.
A lot of yeah, I know. For those of you, I actually am wearing a Kakashi shirt. So
everyone. And there's so many people I see coming to the movie theater wearing Kakashi t-shirts.
Honestly,
he's such a good character.
Honestly, because a lot of when I was a kid in high school, whenever they were wearing Naruto shirts, it wasn't Naruto they were wearing. It was Kakashi.
Oh, yeah, because Kakashi's freaking awesome.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I told you this before. I think Kakashi is one of the main. I think the main reason I kept watching Naruto to begin with because whenever I first,
a lot of people, honestly, awesome.
Well, when I first watched Naruto, I thought it was like a slapstick kind of show, and even though when the action got picked up in the Land of Waves arc, I was like, okay, Like,
So I'll say this, like for
I
the theme of the video so far, like I was over here expecting this to be like how Sage of Thick have. So shout out to him, by the way, if you guys haven't heard of him. I'll put him in the link in the description down below. But I was thinking like it's gonna be more of that structure of like how he went about it and gave all his arguments. And by the way, he did a phenomenal job and it was fucking incredible for why he was saying Kakashi's like the best character and whatnot. But this is mainly just like a glaze vid. Like it's just talking about like all the awesome things of Kakashi, right? And like and how popular he is, and basically just going along those routes, which is fine. That's the basic way of going about it and advocating for the character, but it's not like an actual in-depth like, oh, here's this and blah blah and this is why I think he is, right? It's a pretty straightforward video basically on and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like if anything, I could even see myself doing this with like either Ken Rock or maybe even Jay and things like, you know, with the theme of the video and so on and so forth. But if it was more like for a serious tone, I was more expecting it like to be like how Sage did it, right? A more professional and serious tone of it. So, but yeah.
I could deal with this. It seems like a show that I could really get into. But whenever Kakashi first used a lightning blade on Zabuza, I was like, this man is my favorite character. Like, I'd never seen anything like lightning blade before. I thought it was exactly what I expected from a cool kind of character.
See, I love the copycat element, which I feel like they slept on. I think they could have done a lot more
Yeah.
with the copycat aspect.
Whenever Zabuza gave the best introduction to Kakashi. Whenever like he was explaining to them like what Kakashi is, and he's like, how do you say it? He's like,
It's the man that knows the
I
thousand
thought
jutsu or
Jutsu,
something like that.
Kakashi the copy ninja.
Yeah.
And I was like, and
That's
like
so cool. That was so cool to me.
Sakura was like, what is Kakashi Sensei some kind of famous ninja? I'm like, if you like rewatching it, I'm like, if you only knew.
Yeah.
And like later on, you realize he's really known throughout all 5 nations and probably
Everyone knows him.
Yeah.
He's insane.
from the
Which
Raikage.
I
to-
wish they had compelled that more because, like, I know the Sharingan like has its own elements, but I thought that would have been really cool if they had been like, okay, this is what Kakashi can do. With the Sharingan.
Yeah.
Copycat more. I think that's
Honestly, that's a W point. A lot of people always had a critique on that too, though, because like you're always hearing the flex of the famous reputation he has of him being known across the entire world. You know, he's that guy, right? He's like the peak of the peak when it comes to like low Kage Ninja or like the high tier Jonin, right? You know, and then it was always like that famous statement, like, oh, Kakashi Atake, he knows thousands of jutsus, right? Or his copy to learn, blah, blah. Yet he never is shown to flex all of it. Or he's never shown to do anything more than what we always see that he does in fights. So it was always like, is it, or is it just really hyper exaggeration, you know, things like that, right? Or like maybe all the thousands of things he's copied to learn like are just, I guess, fodder or useless to the people he's normally put up against, right? And that's why he's typically having to use like what he typically does, you know, or still fight how he typically does. Because it's not going to give him any like beneficial value, I guess. Maybe that's why. But I don't know. Like it could have been filler arcs. They could have done so many ways to try to at least, you know, like enforce that concept, right, in Naruto. Like what is always being touted for him, you know. And they never did. Like for an example, like you know how like Shishui gets like all the hype of like, oh, Shishui the teleporter, right? Or Minato like the yellow flash, like he's so fast and run in sight order and things like that. They emphasized that. They showed it. They showed the why and blah, blah, etc. Where Kakashi, they do the same aspects, but then they don't emphasize it, right? They don't show it. So it is kind of a letdown. You know what I mean? Like, but in all honesty, that's like really the only critique you can really have for the character. Other than that, he's a fucking banger of a character, bro. Like, just simply, like, with that critique alone, I would give him a 9 out of 10 as a character. Mind you, he's my favorite character, okay? So, but if they didn't do that and they actually like emphasized on what he was really known for, then I would say he's a 10 out of 10 character, dead ass, like with no ifs, ands, buts about it, you know. So, but I agree with that.
Either way, it's
I mean, because
cool.
no matter who he's up against, he receives praise from just about everybody he fights.
Oh yeah.
From Itachi, who is the master of the Sharingan, literally said that Kakashi's mastered the Sharingan exponentially well. Even in Shippuden. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this, and I'm not trying to, you know, say that, you know, Kakashi's scared him, but like in Shippuden, whenever Kakashi, because this is one of my favorite Kakashi moments. I think it's just because who he's up against. But whenever Kakashi was, you know, talking to Itachi before they fought, it was a 30% clone,
Yeah.
and he's like, I wonder. He's starting to put up his headband. He's like, I wonder just how bad your eyesight's gotten. And
Yeah.
Itachi's like, oh crap. And
Yeah.
he's like, did you like trailing off? It's like asking, did he like because Itachi knew at that point he'd unlocked the Mangekyo Sharingan.
Right.
So
Because the only way he would have known about the eyesight loss is if he had known himself. Like this is what happens when you use powerful.
And Itachi already knew that Kakashi was dangerous. He even told Kisame when they first appeared in the Leaf
don't
Village.
take him.
Yeah, he's like, if you take this man on, it's gonna cost you something.
Yeah.
And like to think that this same man has a Mangekyo Sharingan can be dangerous. So. And then Pain,
Facts.
of all people.
Honestly, I don't even need to go any more crazy on that. They hit it right on the fucking nail. That was an insane fucking horrible for Kakashi. Like, from Itachi, mind you, out of all people, praising this guy, right? And for him to feel like a little bit shook because he knew he has the Mangekyo now. He already knows how dangerous as he is, you know, as a ninja. On top of it, then having a fucking MS, you know? Like, yeah. And mind you, he's not even a fucking Uchiha, right? So, like, it's just insane.
Ninja Kakashi Hatake, like, I'm honored to meet you. I'm like, that's one of my favorite Kakashi.
That's so cool. Because Kakashi's awesome. He's
God
so
damn,
good.
that game's
I just
old.
wish they did the copycat more.
Okay, so like skill and strength aside, I think Kakashi is just, you know, I said Minato's the all around. I think Kakashi is the all around best ninja. He's funny. He's cool.
He acts like a ninja.
He looks like a ninja.
He looks and acts like a ninja. It's perfect.
And I've said this.
So Minato's definitely way more all around, you know, some like the one thing Kakashi does lack is the speed elements of things, right? Like Minato has a way to fucking teleport and get in and out and go wherever the fuck he wants. That's a big deal and insane. Kakashi doesn't really have that, you know?
To a couple people before, he acts like a real adult would in some ways. His man.
I do agree. He's a very good all-around ninja, though. Like, the sky's the limit with the dude, right? He can do all kinds of shit, you know? But that's the one thing Minato does have over him, so that's how I would still give Minato the more of a better overall, you know, all-around character. So
like the way he kind of acts and talks, he's kind of like an adult in the real world would kind of act. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he
uh,
has really good funny moments too. I love it whenever he was eating ramen with Yamato and Naruto, and he convinced Yamato to pay the bill because how much he respected him. I rewatched that so many times.
Oh yeah, no, bro. You all give hype to Naruto with the Talk no Jutsu. Let's be real. The Talk no Jutsu god is Kakashi. That motherfucker is the most smoothest talker you'll ever meet in your goddamn life. He can convince anybody just with how he'll hype and give you all like the love and glaze, basically, right? And he's only doing it to manipulate to get his way. But the way he says and conveys his messages to make you feel like so enlightened, you're like, oh my god, you know, like he gets his way because it's just insane manipulation.
So funny, and anytime his books are involved,
yeah.
So funny.
Whenever he was when they're trying to decipher the code to Jiraiya, and then like
he was like, had to read the book.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
Yeah,
and then like all you see is like the steam coming off of Kakashi, and Kakashi's like a blank, like weird face, and it's like
It's so good. I love that was like his Achilles heel too. Whenever Naruto and Sakura were fighting out in the woods,
it's
and
like
he was like trying to spoil it.
And it's like Kakashi's a cool character, but it's like he's not like he has the cool side of Sasuke with the funny side of like Jiraiya.
Yeah.
I think he can have his like funny moments, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like he's a mixture of like cool and funny, and I think he balances it so well that it just makes him a better character.
That's why he's likable.
And then when you find out later that he's so much more than we thought. Like he's the student of the fourth Hokage. He knows the Rasengan.
His dad was the
White Fang. Yeah, and then
and that's one of the best moments in the show, I think, by far. I love that moment.
Yeah, that's why the writing is so incredible. That's a very good point they made there. It's the simple fact that, like, the more you learn about him, the more you get surrounding his character, it just gets better and better and better. And it's like, oh, shit, like, this is getting good. You know what I mean? Like, being the student of the fourth Hokage, you know what I mean? Knowing his dad was also an insanely powerful ninja with a run-on-sight order just like Minato, and above deciding either 1v1 wise or all of them potentially. Like, there was always some, like, insane correlation to the character. You know what I mean? And it was always, like, just something even more to, like, make his reputation more badass and more crazy or, like, oh, shit, you know? And then eventually getting into the whole Obito scheme of things and all that with him being, you know, in the Akatsuki and in the war, like, just all these things, bro. Like, Kakashi, like, as crazy as it sounds, Lightning Snow is not wrong. It might sound like a hot take, but it really isn't. He technically is a main character. Kakashi is connected to a lot of the most important elements in the show, in the series. You know, whether if it's Naruto, Minato, Obito, Madora's whole plan, like everything, bro. Like he's literally connected to like the main roots of Naruto throughout the entirety of the narrative of the show. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he basically is a main character in a way. You know, in a sense. You know, even though he is a side character, we all know that. But he's not wrong in that either. So, like, again, W talking points, absolutely agree with everything they're conveying so far and so on and so forth. And good video so far.
Hey, what
Him and his
though?
dad.
I see. Like I told you before that I watch reaction videos a lot.
Yeah.
People almost rage quit when they see Kakashi die.
Oh man. Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I kind of like almost like freaked out for a moment because like he's like, oh, I watch reaction videos, and he's literally showing the reaction, and even though he's about to get into like the importance and value of how like much the character means to people, right? I was looking at my OBS and I saw me on the top of the screen, you know what I mean? And then I see like he's showing the thing, and I'm like, wait a minute, is he showing me reacting to his shit? I was like, wait a fuck. But no, I was just confused myself. It's just a fucking ding dong moment I'm having. But anyways, not irrelevant. But
Like when that came out and that happened.
I was reading the manga, dude.
Nuts, dude.
I threw my book too. I didn't even finish reading the book because that happened like midway through the manga.
Yeah.
Since you like reactions and so on and so forth, check out this reaction.
I
So I'll
actually
tag you.
stopped for like
Let me know what you think.
2 to 3 weeks. I had actually someone tell me that pain brought him back.
Yeah.
I was like, you're lying. I was like, read it, find out. I was like, okay. And
That's insane.
and yeah, so like when he brings him back, like I don't know when he came back, and the first thing he did.
I'm not gonna lie though. If Kakashi remained dead, you guys let me know in the comments. Would you have still kept watching or reading Naruto? Would you actually stuck with it? I would have because I had a curiosity and because the show was just that good. But let me know. You know what I mean? Because I'll be real. Like when I first saw it, and bro, I was even contemplating at first, and I was fucking, I was livid, bro. I was like, out of all motherfuckers, like, I get it. You're trying to go for the emotional punches and really hit home with that, right? And really get, like, but damn, fuck, like it's good, but it's like it's painful. It's like that bad good, right? Like, it was rough, man. That bro, that was a mix of fucking emotions around that point in time, dude. Like that was fucking rough, bro. And bro, it was such a big deal. There was a lot of people that literally stopped watching Naruto because of that. And people either had to like convince them and be like, no, trust, keep watching this, trust, whatever. Like they really had to like basically convince them to the best of their abilities, but without spoiling, right, or whatever, right, or making it obvious of what they mean. And some people it worked, some people it didn't, Like for instance, like a funny story. I don't remember how I knew this, but I just somehow found out. But a Naruto content creator 6, that's what happened with him. Like his friend, like he stopped watching. He's like, fuck this shit. And then the dude like had to like talk to Jutsu and really get him to go back and give it a chance. He did, luckily, and then he's like, okay, and he's back, and he was good, right? But like, no, I'm really curious what you guys think on that. Like, let me know what you think. Would you have kept going? For me, it had me on my toes, but I still remained, vigilant and had some resilience, and thankfully was on top of him being brought back. Like, that's how I was like, okay, thank God, right? Like,
one of my best Kakashi moments to me. First thing he did when he came back to life is go look for Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
And he
W moment.
caught him when Naruto was about to faint on the ground or whatever. He caught him on his back.
I
and
love
real
that
one.
moment,
Yeah.
dude. It's so good.
The
That's
real
a good
one.
moment.
And this is what brings me back to what you were saying about earlier, like Jiraiya being like, look, I think Kakashi and Naruto's student-match relationship is very slept on.
It's good. No, it's really good.
I get I get what people say about Kakashi. I wouldn't say that Kakashi ditched Naruto and Sakura for Sasuke. I get why he did.
It wasn't
quote
a
unquote.
ditch. He just knew who the problem child was because he saw Sasuke in himself and knew what he could become.
Well,
And that's understandable.
I think that people forget the Orochimaru was after Sasuke.
yeah.
Like it kind of makes
Oh, yeah.
sense for, in the moment, I think it makes sense for Kakashi to try to get Sasuke as strong as he could because he knew he was Orochimaru's target.
Mm-hmm.
And now, granted, like the personality,
Similarities
between Sasuke and Kakashi was there. So like, and it's not as if Kakashi left Naruto in the wind.
Oh, definitely not.
He-
It's just that's how Naruto perceived it because
Well-
he was spending his time with Sasuke. But that's because Naruto. The thing is, Kakashi knows all the stuff about Naruto. He knows his dad. He
Yeah.
knows his story, and he knew Jiraiya would be a better teacher for him just because.
Yeah, that's
of
the
how
thing, too,
Jiraiya
like-
is as a
No,
person.
but we're talking.
I'm gonna be real with you, but like that's facts. Like he also knew Jiraiya was training him. Like, I mean, like at that point, like the motherfucker's getting Sonic fucking training at this point. Like, what more is he really? Like, so yeah, it makes sense for him to focus on Sasuke. Absolutely, So, and he was always working with Sakura, which is mainly the chakra control aspect of things.
like during the tuning exams arc when he
I see.
trained, but like because people like really harp on Kakashi about that moment. I'm like,
Oh no, well, Kakashi's explanation was perfectly adequate too. Naruto needed to learn fundamentals.
and like it's not. That's what I'm saying. He didn't leave Naruto with him. He sought out a good trainer.
Yeah, the trainer was good.
It was a Jonin. It wasn't like a Chunin. It was an experienced Jonin who taught him chakra control.
But see, not only that, but another reason too, he was also going to specialize training Sasuke at this point. This was when they're going for the final tuning exams. His whole priority was teaching Sasuke the Chidori and him training as well, because he was like, ever since his experience with Orochimaru and Kabuto, like he realized how weak he's gotten, right? And how weak he's let his body get physically too. But yeah, it was because of Sasuke, because of him. And instead of going like over the fundamentals or like, all these other basic or intermediate aspects that Naruto technically should have already been really developing or trying to do, like be the best of the best at, he didn't really have the time for that bullshit. So he got someone very, very good, right? And another elite, and just had him go with it with Naruto. Like there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like he's not playing favorites. He's not like, no, like that's completely fine. Like again, this is a dude that like, he knew what Naruto was capable of for the most part, right? But obviously Sasuke was capable of even more, and how similar he was, and so obviously it's completely logical for him to choose Sasuke over Naruto at this particular time and moment, right? And that's just what you're working with. And if I'm gonna be real with you, if anything, okay, if Jiraiya didn't come into the picture, because I know damn well like Kakashi finds out, at some point, and like that's why he mainly just like have Jiraiya have it for the most part. But let's be real, Kakashi would have helped Naruto try to start learning the Rasengan. Like Kakashi knew the Rasengan already. He already knew how to use the Rasengan at this fucking point. Okay, so like he could have easily started giving Naruto Rasengan training while he's working with Sasuke with the Chidori training. But again, Jiraiya came into the picture. He was working with Naruto, etc., whatever. And there was even a point when they're on the rooftop where Jiraiya literally tells Kakashi, leave Naruto to him. He's going to work with him, whatever, blah, blah, train him, help him with the Nine Tails, yada, 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 right? So, like, there's all the justification in the world for Kakashi doing what he does. So I absolutely agree. So, tons of evidence.
Attempted to before Jiraiya took over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like he left him in the wind, and like that ended up helping him. The chakra control literally ended up helping him.
No, yeah, Kakashi I think just made an efficient move for Team 7. I think that's all it was.
And again, like after that,
I don't know if he was as concerned with the power creep as much as he was just making sure Sasuke grew up correctly. Like I think he really understood because Sasuke. Remember, Sasuke's whole village was wiped out. And in the very first conversation when they're all meeting each other, Sasuke's like, "I'm after a certain man to kill him." And you hear that from a 12-year-old, you're like, "Okay, this kid needs therapy."
That's true. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. And that's the thing is that's the whole reason why he gives him that speech before the Sasuke
into the tree.
Yeah,
W speech
honestly,
moment.
That
big moment.
There's so many favorite Kakashi moments.
That's a good moment.
It's a very good moment.
Because Sasuke was like, "You never understand," and he's like,
what if I go kill everyone that's important to you? And Kakashi's like, and with a smile on his face, everyone you're talking about has already been killed. I'm just like, and that's when I think that's a great foreshadowing of Kakashi's like back. And that's the thing. It's Kakashi takes all the situations that he's had because he's next to Itachi, probably the worst childhood.
I mean, his dad killed himself.
He had to kill
You don't really
him.
hear anything about his mom.
No. Well, his dad mentions it to him, or in passing.
What happened to his mom?
They never say. They just said she died pretty young.
Oh, I see. Okay. So loses his mom. Dad kills himself. Loses his best friend. I mean, well, like I guess maybe you could
Presumably, yeah.
Yeah. Gets his eye. Doesn't she die too?
Kushina?
Yeah.
No, Rin?
Rin.
Yeah, he kills her.
Kills her.
And then Minato and Kushina die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like right after that.
Like he just
lost everything.
A lot.
Yeah.
And now he's like risking losing his. He almost lost his Team 7 like on their first big mission together. That was a big deal for him.
Yeah.
Then he's like threatened by losing Sasuke, especially because of Curse Mark and then Orochimaru nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it's a hard time.
And
I
think Kakashi has a lot of complexity, but he handles it in a way that you really don't like because he never complained about it.
The most beautiful aspect, basically what they're getting at, the most beautiful aspect is the willpower and the resilience and self-control that Kakashi had. Okay, you're talking about a dude that like had all the reason, all the motivation in the world to turn to the dark side, right? To break or betray the Konoha, whatever, etc. Yet he never did. You know what I mean? Like he never did. He never breaks to that point. he came close to certain points, like throughout his Anbu arcs and like throughout him trying to process like his PTSD and trauma and all that, which is anime only, by the way. And if you haven't seen it and you're a Kakashi fan, you're missing out. But like, he never broke, right? He never came to that point, you know? So, I'll say this, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe if it took, like, some, you know, Madara manipulation, right? You know what I mean? Like, from Obito, right? Of him, maybe him getting involved and trying to convince Kakashi during the Akatsuki and blah, blah, and all that. Like, maybe he could have potentially turned if, like, the timing was right and he came at the right point when he was really conflicted and so on and so forth, which was, because, like, but I'm going to be real with you, like, the best manipulators in Naruto was Madara, Obito, Danzo, and Orochimaru. And not even Danzo could manipulate Kakashi successfully. He tried with everything Kakashi lost and all the shit that he's been through. He tried to manipulate Kakashi at his worst point in time and manipulate the darkness with him and the strings and whatnot. And not even Danzo was... And Danzo is a pretty good manipulator too. You know what I mean? I won't say nowhere near as like effective or good as Obito, but he's pretty fucking good, you know? So like... At the end of the day, like, Kakashi is just a very strong-willed individual, and, like, he's truly an example of, like, to be inspired to really, like, you know, inspire you or really keep your chin up, basically, right? And to never, like, just let the world end, basically, or give up, you know? To always keep pushing forward no matter how hard or how dark the tunnel is, that there's always a light, right? And it's along with that one, you know, quote, which I have it on this card of mine because a loved one of mine passed away, and he loved Naruto. He was very passionate about it. But there's this quote that Kakashi says. He says, "The hole in one's heart gets filled by others around you. Friends won't flock to someone who abandons the memory of his friends and gives up on the world just because things don't go the way he wants them to. That won't help fill the hole in your heart, and people won't help those who run away and do nothing. As long as you don't give up, there will always be salvation." Okay? He's literally the embodiment of that concept, okay? The fucking personification of that, dude, okay? So, like, and that's as real as it gets. And that's what Kakashi stands for, right? You know, it's an incredible quote he has. It's an incredible thing. That's literally what he's built upon and what his whole character is orchestrated for. And there's even more things that he's mainly figuratively shown and emphasized for, too. But that's one of the main things, so for him, right? That's the biggest component of his character, you know? And with all the pain and all the loss that he went through, he found a way to have his salvation and to, like, fill that hole in his heart, which was the new generation of Team 7, and to hold that precious to him and to make sure the cycle doesn't repeat itself and the tragedies don't repeat itself, and for him to do everything in his power to protect what he wished he could have protected before, that he didn't have the ability to do at that time and point, right? So, like, no matter what, like, he's an incredible character, but let's let it keep going.
Like, you never hear, like, Kakashi, I guess aside from that conversation with Sasuke, but like Sasuke was like literally like, "You don't know what I'm talking about." Like, I do. But like after that, he's like, he literally, like, in a typical Kakashi fashion, he literally puts a 180 on it. It's like, you know, yeah, we're not all that bad off though. We have new comrades to help fill the void.
Yep.
And it's great that Kakashi can look at it that way. You know.
Yeah, not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can do that. Like, we literally see that in Naruto. Nagato couldn't do it. Obito couldn't do it. Madara couldn't do it. The list goes on and on and on. Sasuke, like, et cetera, right? Like, you know, and honestly, that's very real in real life. Like, it's realistic. You know what I mean? Like, some people just can't do that. To some people, loss is just more different, or it's just more heavy or more personal, right? Loss is not the same to everybody. And that's a legit thing in our reality as well. Like, there's a lot of things you can relate to, et cetera, you name it, you know? And I'm not trying to put down anyone, you know, that's like, oh, fuck, whatever, blah, blah, but... You know, at the end of the day, you also got to give credit when it's due to Kakashi. The fact that he, like, again, he had all the reason in the world to, like, turn to the dark side, you know? To become motherfucking Anakin Skywalker or a.k.a. Darth Vader, right? And he doesn't, you know? Like the dude is resilient. Like, he has insane willpower on his moral compass and the way he views the world and his philosophy of things and basically the way he channeled his perception, right? You know? That's just insane. And a lot of people can't do that. To this day, they can't. In our world and whatever, you know. I even struggle with that, you know, when it comes to life and certain aspects and things that I've been through personally myself, you know. So, like, again, like, he's just a really good example to what you want to strive to get your mental health towards, or where you want to channel your perception on things, right? You know, great example. Like, again, like Naruto, yeah, like, people always, you know, never realize, like, the true beauty of Naruto. Yeah, Naruto's great, writings, you know, action, all that, whatever, blah. But you want to know what really always hits to me home for Naruto, why it holds a special place in my heart, and to this day considered like in top 3 out of any anime or mangas I've seen, or the best for me out of any of them, is because of the philosophy or moral messages or impacts that the show can convey to the audience and people. Especially to how you can relate to it, or especially of you just learning just insane, beautiful aspects of the show. That's just further and beyond of what any traditional anime or manga is normally going to give, which is just, action or, or the MC trying to become the strongest or whatever it is, right? Or some dude on a vengeance plot or yada, 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 right? The same typical shit, right? It's way more beyond that. Like, there's so many beautiful meanings within Naruto. And that's why it's so special. It's not the typical trope of fucking anime and manga. There's just so much with it, and it's done perfectly, okay? If you're able to comprehend it and realize that and see it, so.
But redirect the sadness somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, I just think
solid character.
he's someone to look up to in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I think he's maybe he's not as relatable as someone like Shikamaru, but he can be.
Very good example to look up
It
to.
depends on who you are and where your walk in life is. Anyone can relate to anybody in that show depending on where they are.
Yeah.
Maybe for someone like us, in Western culture, we have it pretty easy for the most part. A lot of us do, I'd say.
Yeah.
Compared to some other lives, and maybe there's some extreme situations where people are like, yeah, I can really relate to this situation with Kakashi. Shikamaru had it pretty easy.
Yeah. And I was gonna say too, like Kakashi had the hardest job as a teacher, looking after two of the highest priorities of the Leaf Village.
They really were.
And
Naruto and Sasuke, yeah.
And granted, Kakashi was probably the only one that could deal with something like that. So
and Sakura, and she was a nightmare.
Yeah. And it's just
Water style crying jutsu.
I think Kakashi gets a bad rap as a teacher.
Does he?
A lot of people would say that he's a great character, but it's a crappy teacher.
I would only challenge them to watch the series again. You have to look at the cards that he was dealt. And then you have to determine what best course of action to take. You have to look at how he was raised and the decisions he had to make.
The only person
and all the shit he went through.
The other teacher that can honestly say that could maybe had it even remotely bad was Guy, having to deal with Neji's destiny kind of stuff.
Ego nonsense.
Yeah. But after his fight with Naruto, it was all smooth sailing. Kakashi still had to deal with a lot of
It's hard. Yeah. One of his team is gone.
And he still feels responsible for Sasuke leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And I always appreciate Kakashi's
That and Obito's
backing
death.
up Naruto
And Ren and Minato.
his quest to try to bring Sasuke back.
He holds a lot of burden on
even
his
after,
shoulders.
Sasuke almost killed Sakura twice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kakashi's still backing up Naruto and saying I'm still willing to see if Sasuke can come back. If you think it's possible, then I do too.
Mm-hmm.
But backpacking, I'm not going to do too much more into this, but backpacking off the student relationship with Naruto, I think that honestly might be my favorite teacher-student relationship is Kakashi and Naruto, because I think it's definitely slept on. I think it shows in the war arc mostly after the whole Obito reveal. It's really, you really see how dependent Naruto and Kakashi are on each other.
Yeah, it's true. Because Naruto's like Obito and shit. You know what I mean? He reminds him a lot of Obito, and Obito was a big crutch for Kakashi and his way to evolve and become better and grow as a shinobi and as a human being. And Naruto has a lot of elements within that. And holds on to those things. And Naruto is, if you think Kakashi's great, Naruto is he's no joke when it comes to resilience and self-control and always trying to do the right thing or always having faith in the impossible or wanting to try to accomplish the impossible or, always believing redemption and change is the priority and will always be the solution no matter how dark or whatever fuck shit someone does, right? Naruto just always would try to, see someone to give him the benefit of the doubt. While Kakashi, he could do that, and he has similar, aspects of that, but there's only so much he's going to deal with, right? Eventually at a certain point, he was willing to kill Sasuke, to do what Hiruzen had to go through, right? But like they said, it was because of Naruto and he trust and went from there, etc. So yeah, no, absolutely.
Because it's after the whole Obito reveal, Kakashi's in the fit of he doesn't know what to do. After like everything, his whole world's been shattered. His whole outlook on life has been shattered because the person he thought was his hero is actually the villain.
Oh yeah.
And it's up to Naruto, like, you know, to, hey, you know, we have to stop what this guy's doing first. We can talk about it later, and stuff like that. And Kakashi straight up says, like, Naruto, I'm glad that you were my student. And I like how they're standing side by side to each other. I knew Naruto was like grinning, like fighting next to Kakashi. So I think it's definitely.
That's a good moment.
I think it's definitely, and like
Yeah,
whenever
it's a good moment.
Obito's like trash talking Kakashi, Naruto's like, Kakashi Sensei's like me. He's not trash and stuff like that. So it's like, I just think that their relationship is really slept on. And
Oh no, it is. It's
That's good.
underrated.
I think
It's
I'm
good.
excited to get to it. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm excited to see those moments happen.
And then the last thing I'll say is I think the way that he and Obito kind of part ways after like the whole. First of all, I like how he got both Sharingan. I do like that. Even though it's a big plot hole. I will definitely agree to that. It's definitely a plot hole that probably shouldn't have happened, but I'm glad it did.
I'll have to watch it to see.
Because that man wrecks. Like, there's a lot of people who say that double Monk Sharingan Kakashi solos about 98% of the Naruto verse.
Really?
Not at the same time, but like
Oh,
one on one, he solos just about anybody.
Really?
Aside from maybe like end of Naruto and end of series Sasuke. But Hashirama, Madara, Obito, maybe Ten Tails Madara, maybe Ten Tails Obito. That's a separate conversation. But like a lot of people,
Okay.
a lot of people do agree about this just because how much like hacks he's got.
Hacks. I'll have to. Now I'm really curious. That'll be an interesting conversation.
But I do like the way they part him and Obito. It's a good moment, like, you know.
So he absolutely destroys all those motherfuckers. Jubito and Jubin Madara is a little bit more understandable, so that's fine. But he even destroys them because of what he performs in his feats against Kage, which is she's way more powerful than Jubin Madara and Jubito, right? So yeah, he would shit on them too. So yeah, no, he literally, like, if I'm not thinking about it, no, he does beat literally everybody. Like 1v1 wise, he does. Like, dead ass. Like, the only thing you could say maybe not is, like, when Naruto, like, does the Sage Mode transformation with his Biju avatar one, maybe that is, like, over Kakashi at that point. But, you know, like, and so on and so forth. And then, like, all Naruto has to do is either outlast the timer that he has, or, like, he just speed blitzes somehow. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? But other than that, like, that's about it, right? Like, you know, like he literally beats everybody. Now, at the same time, honestly, like, because of how crazy his scaling is and all the shit he does to Kaguya, and mind you, like, her most powerful form too, not her first form, her like final, like, insane, like, fucking form that she has, like some Super Saiyan 3 type shit, okay, or 4. Like, that's what the shit he's doing to, and so, like, if anything, like, he could literally slam everybody all at the same time as well. But once it comes to, like, Jubi Madara, like, you know, Jubito, and like in Kage, and then Naruto and Sasuke, you know what I mean? Like that, okay? That's when you could be like, okay, maybe not all at the same. That might, you know, like, but even then, like, you know, he has Kabui, like he could snipe you, but just by looking at you, you can do. In all honesty, like he even wins that. Like, I just don't see how he won't beat Kaguya because he did need help with Kaguya, right? But he would just get rid of all the others, like, instantly. Like, that would not be a problem, you know? He was more faster than Sasuke Susanoo. Like, bro, like, the guy is cracked. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, overall, like, he's a monster, dude. DMS Kakashi is a fucking monster. The only one that could still beat that Kakashi is Kage. And that's only because she would just outlast him. If he had, like, an infinite fucking timer in his... But, like, I do think he actually beats her at that point, you know? But because of the timer, that's why he would lose inevitably. He'd fuck her up, but, you know, what's it called? She would win at the end of the day. So, but that's basically what you're working with, you know?
Obito, rightfully so, he's like, I don't even know what to say to you in parting because I've messed up the Shinobi world so bad. And Kakashi, being that good friend, is like, look, we're able to say goodbye as friends and not enemies. That's enough for me. And he's like, thanks, Kakashi. He's like, all right, I got to go see Ren. And Kakashi's like, have you prepared a good excuse for being late? He's like, don't worry, I already told her I'd be helping you. And Kakashi's about to cry at that moment because he's like,
yeah, but like that's a W moment because at that point in time he finally gets, you know, the clarity he needs, or like that rock off his shoulders, like legit, like fully. Like everybody always makes the argument or like brings the data book and like all the stuff when it came to like, you know, like when there's that point in time where he spares Obito's life, and Minato's like, and they're all together and whatnot talking, and like there's that point in time. But I'm gonna be real with you, this is when he really handles all his mental problems, and and so on and so forth, and he finally truly has tranquility, so
Likewise.
Peace.
Because he always did the same thing when he was a kid. He's like, I'll be right back. I gotta go help Obito because he's late.
Yeah.
So, and it's just, and to see the Sharingan, retract permanently. And Kakashi say, like,
sad. Like, the symbolism was insane. The writing was insane. Like, bro, Kishimoto and Naruto itself, like, always did an incredible job with the symbolism and emphasis they did within the show. It was always insane, dude. Just, it's so good. You know what I mean? So good.
Sharingan's no more. It's pretty sad. Mm-hmm. But in place of that, I do like how he became Hokage.
Yeah.
It's really crazy because, like, Kakashi's the last Hokage we see in the series. If you think about it. Because he's Hokage at the end of the manga and the... Well, unless you count, like, the little... Like... In the manga, there's, like, this little one-page chapter where you see Naruto finally as Hokage. But technically, at the end of the series, Kakashi's the last Hokage we see.
Like, actually acting out Hokage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just assuming that Naruto does become Hokage. So...
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number one. So thank you guys for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If y'all did enjoy the video, make sure you like and subscribe. And
WW video. We're not going to say anything more that long because this video is probably really long as it is. But really, really good video. We'll definitely... why does it not let me like videos anymore? Like, I don't know what's going on with my PC. That shit's actually pissing me off. But anyways, really, really good video. It was great. I really enjoyed it. Shout out to Lightning Snow. Give him all love and support, guys. Check him out. And as always, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Make sure to like, also comment here. Let me know your thoughts overall on the reaction. Kakashi as a character overall, do you think he really is the best character or no? Or do you at least think he's like at least, in the top 10, bare minimum 5, 3, whatever? Curious what you guys have to think overall. Subscribe for more content discoveries of the channel, especially if you want more reactions like this. Because again, guys, there's eventually going to be a point where I'm going to have a decision whether or not if I'm going to continue doing this or not, or just the frequency of it and so on and so forth, right? I'm going to look at all the numbers, look at everything I'm doing with the channel as a whole, and go from there. So if you guys really, really enjoy videos like this, show the love, show it, communicate, and you could do that by helping me with the numbers, liking, subbing, etc. Okay? But I'll catch you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.